I don't know what they actually put now. So this will actually only be live, so we won't see any replays in this, but it'll only be what's coming through his camera. But at half time, we just do, I normally do a quick wrap up of 30, we just no 30 seconds, we just describe, talk about what the half is, and then we just say we take a quick break and go back to the final. Oh yeah, position. I'm happy enough with that anyway. The lads told us anyway.
Yeah, the least I needed to have some
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome from Doonbeg in County Clare. We're here for the Lidl Ladies Football League. It's a Division 2, Round 2 clash between Clare and Kerry. Tom Clancy on commentary duty here, and delighted to say I'm joined by Anne-Marie Callan, who's from just down the road here in Clare, and we'll be speaking to Anne-Marie in the build-up to this game. We're just a few minutes away. And as you can probably tell, there is a bit of a breeze here in Doonbeg blowing from right to left, so it will favour the side scoring towards the car park goal to our left-hand side here in Doonbeg. So we'll just take a quick look at the teams, and there is a couple of changes on the home side, so we'll discuss those as we go through the teams. So, as you see there, the team lining up with Michaela Glynn in goal for Clare. The captain Orla Devitt, Tara Kelly and Grania Harvey are in the full back line, though we do expect a couple of changes positionally, at least in the Clare defence. Sheafferny Conal, Laura Ryan and Ellie O'Gorman are the half back line. Aisling Reedy and Joanna Doohan are the midfield partners. The half forward line sees Ciara McCarthy, Lauren Griffin and Chloe Maloney, with Avian Malone dropping out from the team originally listed. Katrina Callan also drops out. She's replaced by Amy Sexton. Fidelma Marinan and Grania Nolan complete the forward line. Just to look at that team, Anne-Marie, there is a couple of obviously personnel changes from the side that played Laois. There's a couple of personnel changes indeed from the side that was listed, but you were expecting positional changes too.
Yeah, I was presuming that Sheafferny Conal would pick up Louise Navarre-Hurtig. Louise had a great game the last day in round 1, and I was imagining that she would pick up. Also, I know Amy Sexton is in for Katrina Callan. Amy had a great year last year, both with club and county. She's a young player, very versatile. She can play in the half forward line or the full forward line, well able to score. And similarly, Ciara McCarthy is in for Avian Malone. Again, Ciara can kick both right and left. Really good to pick out a pass, and I've no doubt she's going to work really, really hard as well. Okay, we'll discuss the Clare team and the Clare interest in this one a little more detail in a couple of minutes. But looking now to the Kerry side, and they're over to our right hand side, you'll see the bibs on them there, going through the very final preparations. And the Kerry side, well, they make just one change from the side that defeated Tipperary in the first round a couple of weeks ago, and the side sees Castle Gregory's Ciara Butler in goal. Ciara O'Brien, Kaylee Cronin and Julie O'Sullivan are the full back line. Emma Costello is flanked by Aisling O'Connell and Ciara Murphy in the half back line. Mary O'Connell and Al Galvin are the midfield duo. Niamh Carmody, Cueva Evans and Niamh Nikunkur are the half forward line. The ever impressive Louise Navarre-Hurtig is at top of the left, while she's joined by Danielle O'Leary and Rachel Dwyer. Danielle O'Leary is the one change coming into the Kerry side from the one that defeated Tipperary by just 4 points in round 1. And if we can go back, just with our Clare hats on here, Anne-Marie, for a second, we go back to that defeat against Laois. Some positives, of course, Fidelma Marinan's performance. She got 2-6 of Clare's 2-7. But in turn, that brings a negative in the fact that there was only 2 scorers, and it was all coming basically from one player. Yeah, like watching Fidelma at both at club and county level, she can kick right and left. Very balanced and coordinated player. But I've no doubt Kerry would have heard about that, and they're going to mark her tightly today. So it will be important that the other Clare forwards get on the score sheet as well. Just looking at Kerry again, you said they beat Tipperary in round 1. Louise Navarre-Hurtig, again, she can score from distance, as can Mary O'Connell. They're very experienced midfield there, and Louise Galvin as well. So Clare will have to watch those players and mark them really tight. Yeah, you mentioned Louise Navarre-Hurtig, 8 points in that victory on what was a very poor day weather-wise. 8 points of the 11, so a little bit like Clare, a little bit over-reliant in round 1, but they've had a couple of weeks indeed to adjust things and try and work on a couple of attacking options. And indeed you see Kerry going through the interchanges of passes there, and just going to see can they link it a bit better in attack and score a little bit more this afternoon, and much more spread of scores. We are a couple of moments away from throw-in here. Of course, this match originally penciled in for last Saturday, but unfortunately, as we saw in both ladies Gaelic football and indeed in across the men's side of the game, there was a lot of games postponed and moved and changed and everything last week. So good that we're back here on what it would appear to be a dry afternoon, albeit with, as I said, that wind that's blowing straight down the pitch. The referee for this afternoon's contest is in the middle of the pitch there. That's the man from Mayo, that's Kevin Corcoran, and Kevin, a much experienced referee at this level, so he'll be looking for, of course, a free-flowing contest. So it's both sides, I think, more or less been sanctioned. It'll be interesting to see who did win the toss and who decides to play with that breeze. Anne-Marie, it's with the small groups, with only four teams, there's only 3 games.
an opportunity, I guess, for Kerry to put, well, more than one foot to put themselves into a semi-final with a victory today on the back of that win over Tipperary.
Yeah, they'll come into this game with great confidence. Clare will be looking to get a win on their back before they face Tipperary next week. That's going to be another tough test. Again, you mentioned the win there. That's going to be a huge factor. You'd imagine that both teams playing against win will bring back a sweeper, and trying to crowd out, because both sets of forwards are lethal, and they'll want to crowd out and stop the scores going through. Both teams are just there and huddled there now, having their final little chat, and we're nearly ready to go.
Yeah, these two sides, of course, obviously Munster counties, but Clare have decided to go to Connacht, and rightfully so. Clare, of course, the only intermediate side in Munster. We have Limerick in the junior level, but the other 4 sides participating in the Munster Senior Championship, so that's due to be played in between the All-Ireland series and after the National League. So Clare looked elsewhere, they went elsewhere, and they were allowed into Connacht to make up a nice 4-team competition there alongside Leitrim, Sligo and indeed Roscommon. A good move, Anne-Marie, in your opinion?
Oh, definitely, because it would have been weeks there where Clare would have no competitive games. It'll bring them on. It'll allow Evan to test the panel, get his team right for championship. And it's brilliant that they're not going to be just, doing training and challenge matches. They're actually going to be competing well in the Connacht. And again, it'll be a tough test for them, but I've no doubt he'll have them prepared for it.
Well, it's far from Taylor to Connacht. It's just to Connacht to try and get some much needed experience in the legs of a lot of these younger players, especially. And Evan Talty himself, of course, in his second year in charge of the Clare side. So he'll be looking, I suppose, to build on some successes last year, and he'll be looking to see a lot more from his panel. Last year, of course, was a very fragmented season, shortened season in a lot of cases. And we're more or less set to go here, but we're going to stand now for Aran Naveen. So we're all set for this round 2 contest, and it looks as though Kerry won the toss, or certainly they will be playing towards that car park end, and with the wind at their back, so they'll be looking for, I suppose, a fast start here. And as we alluded to, Anne-Marie spotted a couple of positional changes, and Siofra Nicole has made her way back into the Clare full back line. We're on here in Doonbeg.
Ciara McCarthy's gone in centre forward, and Lauren Griffin has gone out in the wing.
Yeah, so positional switches aplenty in the Clare side, and Kerry in possession of it. It's Queeve Evans, and switching it outside there, and Evans looks for the return, doesn't get it, checking back inside, and that's Niamh Carmody, again met by a wall of Clare players, but they're going to slowly build this attack, and all the way back there's Fidelva Marnin putting the pressure on, and again Kerry have to be patient in this early exchanges. Ball sent in long, and it's going to be won now, you think, by Ciara Murphy. Ciara from the MKL Gales, and ball turned over. First possession for Clare. Referee allows play to continue, but deems that she wasn't fouled and that she's overcarried the ball. So Anne-Marie, sometimes referees can pick a point about steps, so players have got to warn there now that they're not going to want to take a ball into tackle, because the referee may be, going to pin that a lot today. Yeah,
exactly. Siofra had protected the ball there, deemed to have overcarried it. So free in, and this is well within Louise's range. Is out to the right hand corner. She may drop it in, but we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, will she throw it up into the West Clare sky and let the wind do the rest? She steals a couple of metres. She gets the distance, but unfortunately for her, that effort tails just across the post. It was a very good effort, but it is the first wayward attempt of the day from Louise Niemeyer Hertig. And the kick out's gone wrong. Mira Hertig turns it over, and it's into the back of the net. Well, she'd have been disappointed a little bit with the free, but she's the quickest off the mark there. And the opening score of the game is a goal, and it's a goal for Kerry. Louise Niemeyer-Hurtig, what went wrong there though from a Clare point of view, Anne-Marie?
I think just a lack of communication there for the short kick out. The short kick outs have to be perfect in those situations. With Louise was onto it, Kerry are in possession now with Emma Costello.
Yeah, what about the finish from Niemeyer-Hurtig? Didn't even think about going around the goalkeeper. Had the presence of mind to lob her enough weight on it to trickle into the goals as the ball is sent to the right hand side and wide, a second wide for Kerry. So just the start that the girls up from the Kingdom will be looking for. They've opened their account here with the wind, and they'll be looking to build on that very quickly. And while Clare, it was a fast start for them, and the referee is telling her it's a wide ball, so I'll take it back inside the 13, I think.
Yeah, I think that the wind is against Michaela there, so she's looking to go short all the time, but Kerry are pushing up on that kick out. It would be hard to get a kick against that wind, so she'll be looking for the fast run to the sides.
Yeah, well, Michaela will be happy that there's a bit of sting taken out of it after a bit of a defensive mishap a minute ago. So advantage Kerry, but very, very early days here in Doonbeg. So takes it from the 13 this time, goes all the way out to the left, and midfielder Joanna Doohan gets onto it, and she's dispossessed, but is given the cancellation prize of a line ball, which will be taken by Ellie O'Gorman. Ellie was at midfield last week, and a couple of weeks ago, and accounted for Clare's other point of their 2-7 tally. So finds herself back the field a little bit, and goes short and low with this line ball, and it's Kerry coming into possession of it. Aisling O'Connell, and ball has gone out from O'Connell, and Clare get on with it. Here's Marnan, as we alluded to, two-footed player, but her hand pass goes astray here, and Kerry have it, and it's Emma Costello. Costello switching across to midfielder Anna Galvin. Galvin looks up and plays a lovely hand pass to a loose player, and the ball sent inside. What can the Kerry attack make of this? Out comes the goalkeeper, straight into the grateful gloves of Michaela Glynn, and her hand pass allows Clare out the side, and it's Ellie O'Gorman, or Ellie Gorman I should say. And here's Marinan. Good interchange of passes there, as with Grania Harvey, and Marinan has to check back. Familiar high sock approach from her, and good interchange there now. It's Laurie Reinach off to Gorman, and back inside now to Aisling Reedy. Can Clare work a first opportunity? They're going to get an opportunity because they've won a free. Probably a little bit too far out to be thinking about having a go at the post, and they go indeed. Don't even think about it. They go short to Amy Sexton. Sexton takes on her player, back to Chloe Maloney, and again coming back through the challenges. Maloney picks it up. 1, 2, 3, 4 green and gold jerseys in her way, and again she's deemed to have overcarried the ball. In fairness, referee right on the spot, and it didn't look like the Kerry players did anything other than put up a wall. Disappointing first attack, Anne-Marie, from Clare. Yeah,
I just think they need to be a little bit more patient and work the ball around a little bit more. Good defence there from Kerry, bottled up Chloe. They're Clare on the attack again with Orla Devitt.
Yeah, the team captain Orla pops it off to Grania Nolan, and as we said, wants to be a little bit more patient, and she is. She doesn't rush it. She looks back to Devitt, back inside. The wind, certainly from our position, doesn't seem strong, but I was out on the pitch beforehand, and it is quite strong, and the referee deems that was too strong from Aisling Reedy. Barged her way through a challenge. She gets noted for that, and Kerry get on with it.
Yeah, Emma Costello stood her ground there. Maybe seen a little bit harsh if it was on the ball, but the ref has a final decision.
Yeah, he does, and it allows Kerry to launch another attack, but pass just trickles away. And we're speaking of patience for Clare. They're going to want to slow it down a little bit in this half, albeit they're a goal behind already, but they're going to want to slow it down, take that little bit of sting out of the game, and keep themselves in touch come half time.
Kayla's looking for help here. She's after finding Joanna Doohan on the wing.
That's a good ball to Doonan, who races onto it. Again, good non-committal defending, you should say, from Kerry, just putting a wall of players in front and forcing Clare to go back to the goalkeeper, and indeed out this left hand side to Grania Harvey. Harvey, 1 and 2 players in front of her. That's a good ball because it's taken out 3 or 4 Kerry players. Ball passed off now, and here we have Ellie O'Gorman popped inside. Ball just not sticking there again. The pitch surface in very good order considering the amount of rain we've had, but still showing the signs of a tricky enough winter in this part of the world. And here is Arnon. She is turned over. He plays on. She looked a bit guilty with the arms up, but she gets it back. Solo's off the right, And we spoke about that patience from Clare. Here comes again. Here is Ellie O'Gorman. Gorman sends it in. That's a lovely ball inside and almost held, but gets it at the second attempt. Does Chloe Maloney, and Maloney meets a green and gold jersey, and the referee has stopped it. I don't think he's giving a free here. He's just stopping it for the injured party. It
was an excellent ball across from Ellie O'Gorman there. She found Chloe Maloney. Chloe looks like to have got a bang to the head there. She went into the tackle. Hopefully she'll be okay because Clare need her. She seems to be up on her feet again. Just earlier on there was an excellent dispossession from Emma Costello and Fidelma Marnin. She got the near hand tackle in, and they're going to be watching Fidelma today after her scoring impress the last day. Yeah, she put her name in lights, albeit in defeat in Cretty in Laois, and well, a bit of dissent there from Maloney. Bit of confusion, but the ref doesn't bring the free further forward. He's letting them go on with it, although he does note her. Bit of consternation in the stands here from 1 or 2, but finally we get back on with it. There's time to just play football, ladies, and here we go. Kerry, reluctant early in the exchanges to kick it long, but when they do, they've gone inside towards full forward. Rachel Dwyer, here's Dwyer, takes on her player back towards Louise Niemeyer-Hurtig, and good cluster defence from Clare. Ball finds its way out to Laurie Ryan. Very impressive willing runner is Ryan. Of course, would have played many a time for UL and would know a lot of these Kerry players. And ball dished out now to Amy Sexton. So maybe 3 or 4 Clare players in the Kerry half, and they just get over that halfway line. The referee decides that this time it's a foul, and it's not overcarrying. It's Ciara McCarthy who is fouled this time. So what can she do here? Can she get a bit of movement in front of her? Chloe has made a run inside, but
well held, illegally or otherwise, by the full back, and there's a bit of a 50-50, but Chloe comes out on top, and a chance now for a first look at the post for Clare. No, again, good defensive work. You can see why they only conceded 1 point in the first half to Tipperary in round 1. Good strong team defence, well organised it would appear, are the Kerry ladies, and here is the goal scorer, the only scorer so far in this contest, Louise Niemeyer-Hurtig, and finds herself a long way from goal, but launching an attack here. She's drifting through the middle, and the ball is finding its way out towards this right wing, and a chance for Niamh Carmody. She does look inside to Niemeyer-Hurtig, and once, twice, 3 times she gets it up. What can she do here? 3, 4, 5 Clare players in her way, so she has to go back. Good pass, and another strong pass outside here, but not get her at the first attempt, and that just allows Laurie Ryan get it back and get in the way, and Fidelma.
Yeah, she had the hand there held back, so that was a correct decision there from the ref. Again, Clare bottling up the Kerry forwards. They're trying to stop them of shooting, and they're working really hard there. Again, this is within Louise's range. You'd imagine this will tail over.
Yeah, well, the last time she missed a free, she ended up with a goal within about 20 seconds, so she'd probably be hoping to just put this straight over that crossbar. She should put this over a player of her ilk, but it is tricky weather down there this afternoon. And to go short, is it going to go all the way? No, it's not. It's well held back there. And that's two frees from 2 that just haven't gone her way. Here is Fidelma Marnin, who gave away that foul a minute ago. 1 and indeed 2 Kerry forwards blocking her pass, so she has to go back to Ellie O'Gorman, and they sweep it across the back, and this is good use of the goalkeeper Michaela Glynn. She's seen the ball in open play 3 or 4 times, and she finds Laurie Ryan. Ryan plays with the Banner Club and pops it outside. Bit of a risky one, but Harvey tidies it up, and Clare reluctant to kick pass into that wind, and it's Harvey again. Kerry management looking for the turnover, looking for the free, but they've turned it over. Ref says play on. There's a short pull there by Lauren Griffin, and Clare's passing just not going well. But sorry, we're back on here. There's going to be a chance of an opportunity, a chance of a score here. It's down onto that in line. Shouts of steps, but Clare get on with it, and it's a bit of a ruck developing there, just outside the 20-metre line. Free out there. Player prone on the ground, played it with her hands, and that of course is not allowed. Ball, just seen a lot of action down right in front of that Kerry dugout. Good fast passing for once from Clare, and can they cut open this defence? Ball sent long and direct, but there is a sweeper there for Kerry, and that's why they come away with it. Referee letting play continue. A bit of a short pull there on the way out, but Kerry happy enough to sweep the ball very quickly. No soloing, no hopping, just get the ball moving quickly. Ball sent directly inside. There's 1 and 2 Clare defenders on the cover, and then they let it off to Glynn. She's been busy enough so far this afternoon, and despite the fact they haven't scored, I think Clare will be some bit happy with their defensive work.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last pass from both teams are kind of letting them down at the moment, but as the game goes on, both teams will settle. As we have mentioned, there's a very strong breeze there. There was a turnover there at the Kerry side there. It was just like a score to them. You could hear the bench encouraging them on, but Clare equally are turning over the ball as well, and they're working hard. Kerry are in possession here now with Mary O'Connell.
Yeah, well, you were saying the word turnover, and right on cue, they did it again. But good work by Ellie Gorman. Referee allows play to continue. What's he giving here? As Nimira Hurtig is injured, it would appear, on the deck.
I think she went 50-50 there with Ellie Gorman.
Yeah, it looks like she clashed and came out the worst and has indeed coughed up the free. So chance for Clare to work it up the field. You'll see the sideline flags over on that side blowing very strong, so that'll tell you all you need to know about the conditions here. As Laurie Ryan, one of her trademark runs up the middle, potentially out from centre back. Number 6 is just a number on her back, and she's pushed into the tackle. There is Ciara McCarthy.
Yeah, she seems to have gone over on her ankle as she was pushed there. I think Kerry player is going to be ticked for that one.
Yeah, the referee has had his notebook out for just a noting and a tick, probably or a tick in this case. So she'll want to watch herself, because pushing the opponent like that, it's pretty cynical stuff. That's not what we want to see, and hopefully Ciara McCarthy is okay to continue. Ciara from the Kilmurray Ibrigan club, and she has a free here just inside the 45, but way out on that far touchline, so she's going to need someone to make themselves available. There's runners backwards, there's runners forwards, but she goes long and direct in towards Fidelma Marnin. But good defensive work there by Kaylee Cronin, I think the full back, and indeed here is Cronin soloing left-footed. Kitog out towards her 45, and gives the easy pass off. Patient at times from Kerry, but when they get around the 45, the Clare 45 that is, they've opted, as you've seen, to kick direct inside. But what it is, this slow passing has allowed is Clare to get 14 of their 15 players back. And a chance now, still here with Niamh McCarthy, sent across to Danielle O'Leary. Came off the bench against Tipperary. One of the 6 subs used that day, and the referee says that full forward Rachel Dwyer was held. And will it be third time lucky from a place ball for Louise Nimira Hurtig? She had one, as we recall, and in a very cute angle over to the left hand side. She'd won maybe 4 or 5 metres further back, maybe only 2 or 3 metres further back from this position, and she didn't catch that right. Had the direction, of course, but way too short for the stick. So
yeah, the Clare defence aren't happy with that decision.
Yeah, they had thought there was enough done there to get the over-carrying call, but nevertheless the referee from Mayo has decided, and that is it free, and it is the second score of this contest, and the second score for Louise Nimira Hurtig, and that's 1-1 now for Kerry. What do Clare need to do to get themselves into this contest?
Well, I think they have a couple of minutes now to regroup there for the water break. I think that Evan's going to be telling them just to be patient and try and work the ball up a little bit more. Yes, Kerry are ferocious in their tackling, but I think Clare need to have a bit more running off the shoulder. You know, I think they're a little bit, when they get to the midfield and half forward line, they just need to be a little bit quicker letting the ball in. I know that Kerry have the sweeper in front of Chloe. Maybe they need to work it in a little bit more as opposed to going long. There's definitely a score or two in Clare before the half-time whistle goes, but as we have said, the wind is really, really strong. I think Kerry will be happy enough with their first 15 minutes. They're working hard. They're moving the ball really, really well along the width. I know Clare are using the zonal defence, and they're trying to cut out the supply going into that full forward line.
Yeah, but looking at the Kerry attacks, they have obviously borne a bit of fruit in terms of the 1-1, but the goal came from a turnover. They haven't really created from open play. They've had 3 frees now from Louise Nimira Hurtig. 2 of them missed, 1 short, 1 wide, and the 1 scored just there. So their attack really isn't functioning maybe as well as Dara Long and Declan Quill would like. one thing I've noticed is that they're building it slowly, but perhaps too slowly. It's allowing Clare to get back, as you say, getting 13, 14 players behind the ball. When they've kicked it, they've had a little bit of joy, but they probably need to move it that bit quicker, especially with the wind. You want to move the ball quick, not allow Clare to set themselves up correctly.
Yeah, definitely, because as you said, the setup is huge, and both sets of defence are working hard, and they're using that time to get back into position, into the zones. And I'd say as the game goes on, that'll, as in both sets of defence, that they might hold tough and go forward a little bit more. And the ref has just called the whistle there. Now he didn't give much of a water break there, just straight into it again. But I think after the National League, the water breaks are going to be gone. So
we're losing the masks more or less officially tomorrow. We've lost social distancing, we've lost this and that. Thankfully, after near on 2 years of all of this, it seems to be coming to an end. And where would we have been without sport of all levels, club and county, in the last couple of years? As Michaela Glynn will get this game back underway with the kick out. So a reminder, just conceded a point there. And Ellie O'Gorman, experienced player in this side, the school teacher, goes back inside. And here is Tara Kelly, again using their goalkeeper the whole time. Here is O'Gorman again. Played AFL in Europe, and so has really displayed her big ball skills on various different levels. And the ball back inside now to Harvey. Grania Harvey. Again, they have to go back to the goalkeeper. There's a real reluctance to try and kick over the Kerry press, but I guess possession 9/10 of the law here. Here's the team captain again. It's Orla Devitt from Éire Óg. O'Gorman, yes, takes out 2 Kerry players, but the ball just isn't going to hand just as they'd like. Tara Kelly is pulled back, and just when balls don't go to hand, they're not caught the first time. You have to get it sometimes a second and a third bite of the cherry to pick it up. It slows the whole thing down and allows Kerry to funnel back and get in a tackle then. Yeah,
definitely, and there's pressure on the person that's receiving the ball straight away. She at least Tara was fouled there on the way out, but the ball to hand is crucial at this level.
Yeah, as we're back underway on that far side, we've seen very, very little action in front of us here in the stand. But the left wing of Clare, not seeing a lot of action, but not seeing a lot of success.
There, that was from Emma Costello on Grania Nolan for a really good tackle.
Ball sent all the way down there, well kept in. Is it? It is. The referee is allowing play to continue. He's not. It looked like Rachel Dwyer did enough to keep the ball in play. She put her hand on it to stop it going out. Fell over the flag herself. But the result of the whole thing is a line ball to Clare. So they're stuck down in their own corner in between the 20 and the 13. Looking for the goalkeeper. That's very, very poor because it's allowing Kerry to come in. Chance here now, switched across. Is it going to be a second goal? It's a great save. It's a great save. There's calls of a foot block, but it is going to be a 45.
That was an absolutely super save from Michaela. She made herself big there.
Came out, narrowed the angle, and she made herself big.
Yeah,
Not sure who the Kerry player is.
It's Niamh Concour. It looks like she has an ankle injury.
Yeah, sorry, number 12 on her back, Niamh Concour. Yeah, went with the left foot, just dropped it onto the left foot. But out came the goalkeeper and more or less blocked her on sight. And there's one of the Kerry management is in there. He's been told to move away from the post. We only have room for 2 umpires at the goal, I think the referee is saying. So let the medical team deal with it. Tension's running a little bit high there. He was probably looking for the penalty, but it is going to be a 45.
No, I think it hit, as far as I know, it hit Michaela's knee. I don't think it was.
Yes, but perhaps from his vantage point, and of course, a little bit of bias from his point of view, he was
great save from Michaela.
It was, yeah. She came out. The mistake was the line ball that was attempted to be played to her was way short. It went to Nimera Hurtig, who in turn passed it off to Rachel Dwyer, and then passed it off to Niamh Concour, but her shot blocked, and it could have been a second gift of a goal for Kerry.
This will give both teams time to regroup again, and figure out their positions. I know Clare seem to have 12 or 13. They actually even have 14 back past the 45. They've only one player up, so they're trying to crowd out that Kerry forward line still.
Yeah, it's Anna Galvin who's standing over the 45, but she won't be taking it anytime soon, it seems. But thankfully, Niamh Concour is back to her feet, gingerly, but she is back on her feet.
That left ankle, she looks to be in quite a bit of pain with it.
I'd say she got a little bit excited there when she saw herself 7 or 8 metres out from goal with the ball at hand, but she didn't count on Kilmihil's Michaela Glynn coming out and stopping her, so she looks like she's going to continue, but as I say, limping away from that one. The 45s, of course, if it is kicked over the bar directly, would be worth 2 points, but it doesn't look like Louise Niemeyer Hurtig or indeed any of her teammates are going to line that up. So she, Niamh Concour hobbles on. Here's the 45 for Anna Galvin. Now, she surveys her options. She looks back. Will she go back with it? Will she play a diagonal? Will she play a low, one high, one? What's she going to do? Plays it high, direct inside. Oh, there's a colliding of bodies there, and it was Mary O'Connell on the Kerry side, and the injured party Siofra Ní Chonaill. Nothing more than a 50-50, it must be said, Anne-Marie. It was both eyes for the ball flying in, and they met each other.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate there.
Yeah, heavy tackle there. Hopefully Siofra will be okay. Looks like once her neck and her head is okay, but she came out the worst of it there, I think. But yeah, it was fair. She went 50-50. She went, if Siofra would put her head where another person would only put their foot, so she went for that ball. Hopefully she'll be okay, and she'll be up onto her feet in a few minutes.
Yeah. Player safety and paramount, but she's doesn't need a few minutes. Anne-Marie, she's up in a few seconds. But okay, we're back on the way. Indirect free, I guess you could call it, as Ellie O'Gorman does give it to Siofra just to check how she is, and she gives it back. Good press the whole time from Kerry. They're not standing off. Interesting to see if they can continue that in the second half. But at the moment, with around about 21 minutes of action here, albeit we've had 2 stoppages on top of that water break. It's 1-1 to no score, so scores at a premium, but that can often make great games because each score is of paramount importance. It's Tara Kelly on that far side. Clare checking back through the bodies, and plethora of Kerry players in their way, and 3 of them, 4 of them. The 4th one in there turns it over, and it's Rachel Dwyer off to Ciara Murphy. Haven't seen an awful lot of Murphy. As I said, the ball has been on the other side of the pitch, and the jersey is pulled by Devitt, and it's going to be a free. About 43 metres out.
Again, another excellent turnover from Kerry. Joanna was bottled up there. There's nothing she could do. She had to play the ball, and that's a trademark of Kerry, getting 3 or 4 around the person with the ball. Louise, I think she's going to go for this one just inside the 45-yard line to the left of the post.
Yeah, she's going to put a little bit more height, I think, than her last couple of efforts, because it's going to need it to carry in this wind. 3 or 4 Clare players very close to the ball, and that is a magnificent score from Niamh Hurtig. Well, we weren't doubting her earlier in the piece, but she has landed the point of the afternoon so far, albeit her second and the second of this contest.
Yeah, she's done it time and time again, for both her club and county. Really inspirational score here. Now, again, Michaela's going to be looking to go short. Oh no, this time actually she's going to go long, and she's looking to find Tara Kelly, and Tara Kelly receives it.
Oh, well, in between about 4 Kerry players, and that's how you beat the press. You play it direct over it and into the hands, and there's just too many steps there from Chloe Maloney, and she looks more than a little bit frustrated with that decision, but she's going to have to get on with it. Clare going to want to funnel the bodies back. Good pressing there by Grania Nolan, but Kerry keep possession of it, and looks like this is Niamh Carmody. She's sifting through the challenges sent inside now. Is it going to be kicked for the goals? It just stays up and over the crossbar. A point for Kerry.
Looks like Rachel O'Dwyer was on the end of that one.
Rachel O'Dwyer opens her account for this contest. First point from play for the Kingdom. So building onto that lead now, and in fact it was Daniel O'Leary who got that point. As Kerry turn it over again, play goes on. They've doubled their lead from that early goal now to 6, so 1-3. Clare yet to have any shot of note, such as the strength and the breeze here. Sent in, sent high, and that's going to sail over. It is indeed, and it's looked to be Quiva Evans on that occasion. Good stuff there from
Quiva Evans.
Yeah, the centre forward. Hadn't seen an awful lot of her. Hadn't really got a look at the post so far. But 1 from 1, she'll like that percentage, and she'll certainly like that score. So just the lead creeping up here ever so slightly. Clare will be worried if this starts to run away from it. They'll have too much to do in the second half, Emery.
Yeah, I think Clare need to get a score now before half time just to settle themselves, or they need to stop Kerry of working the ball,
building onto
up
this
score.
lead.
That's another Niamh Concours effort. It's just dropped short, well held by Michaela in the air there, and she's found Orla Devitt, her captain.
Yeah, good hands, because there was the Kerry full forward, Rachel Dwyer, was following in, or in fact it was another Kerry forward following in there. That was, if she spilled that, it was a certain goal. And here is the centre half back, Laurie Ryan. As I said, the number on her back means very little. She attacks countless times. We'll probably see a little bit more of it in the second half if Clare can get on top in this contest. Switched outside, and we finally have a bit of action here in front of the stand, and it's the wing back Ciara Murphy. Murphy held up by Fidelma Marnin.
That free there came from another turnover in the midfield area there from Kerry. Again, they're just stopping Clare of trying to build any momentum from that half back line. Fidelma, I think, is just the ref is having a quick chat with her there for that tackle. Again, Clare will have to watch this now. They have again 14 behind the ball, again using that zonal defence, and they're trying not to give any options to Kaylee Cronin here. Yeah,
Kaylee Cronin doesn't need to sit on the edge of her square, because that's the way the game's been played now. Everyone back for Clare. That's a bit of a 50-50. Laurie Ryan, and on her knees, flicked the ball away. That's
it looked like she flicked it. She was on her knees. I
suppose the intricacies of the rules at times, but
she just kind of touched it before she flicked it, so it was unlucky by Laurie.
Like one way and flicked it back the other. So a player of her ilk could probably realise in hindsight that was a poor thing to do with the referee only 5 metres away, and it gives another opportunity for Louise Niemer-Hurtig to add to her tally 1 goal and 2 points to her name. Shouts of watch the post. It's going to go short this time. The goalkeeper's there. And there's a square ball there. Didn't hold it on the first instant there, but did flick it away and did get the free for the square ball. So Ellie O'Gorman back to the goalkeeper. Kerry racing up to put pressure on her. And there is going to be pressure this time on Grania Harvey, but Harvey is fouled. And Clare, as I said, reluctant to kick long. And Kerry, it feeds into the thing with Kerry to press them up. And again, they go short to Lynn. She's probably had the most possessions of any Clare player. And that kick is caught in the wind, and it's going to go out for a line ball in around between the 20 and the 13. Clare run out of ideas on how to get out of here. Yeah, they're under pressure there now, but that just shows the strength of that wind. You know, that left-footed kick, just like a whirlwind there brought out over the sideline. Again, more pressure now going to be on the Clare defence. Kerry will probably be looking for another score before half time. I know Clare is still waiting to register a score, but they just have to be patient, and it will come. Yeah, indeed. I'd say Kerry are a little bit impatient. They want to get on with this and use the elements. Hand up there, referee is jolly on the spot, and he decides you can't hand the player off, and that's Emma Costello. Emma could be in trouble here now. I'd say it might be a yellow card. Laurie just went straight down there. She caught her just under the chin. Laurie seems to be up onto her feet again. She seems to be okay, but the referee is having a word here with Emma Costello. Yeah, she's going into the bin. So, well, a crucial moment in this contest, you would feel. So 10 minutes in the bin for Emma Costello. And when you consider that should overlap into the second half, with 28 or so minutes, I think, of action played here, that's going to overlap into the second half. So a big boost for Clare there. And considering Costello was in possession, didn't seem like the likely player to get a yellow card was the Kerry player, but up went the hand. She swatted off Laurie Ryan, illegally so, and finds herself sitting down for the next 10 minutes of action. And another turnover there from Kerry. Turn it over again, as you say, and can they launch another lovely interchange of passes? But the banner wall is firm on this occasion. But too many steps there. Just unlucky from Lauren Griffin again. Just the Kerry defence. There was three towering in front of her. There was Ciara O'Brien, Aisling O'Connell, and Anna Galvin was there as well. You know, they just put pressure on Lauren there. She was coming out with the ball, and this is directly in front of the post now for Louise, about 35 yards out. Well, every free she's taken so far has something more or less has come of it, or has nearly come of it. So she'll be hoping that this one is routine, and she adds to her tally. Just short with the last one, but much closer to the goal. And she splits the 6. So 1-5 now, and 1-3 from the girl wearing number 15, Louise Niemer-Hurtig.
Yeah, I think as you were asking me what Clare could do, they just need to settle and just try not to make as many mistakes and try not to try to force turnovers from Kerry and just work a little bit harder to get those scores on the board.
Yeah, as we say, patient. They haven't mustered a chance of their own, but Kerry have been strong. They turn it over here. What's the referee doing? He's letting the play continue. Chance here now. It's going to be sent in left foot. It's sent over the bar by Niamh Carmody. And, well, Kerry just really getting to grips with that Clare kick out. And Niamh Carmody opens her tally left footed. There was a little chance of a goal there, I thought, but I think the sensible option in the end when she was a little bit bottled up was to just fire it over the bar.
Yeah, good left footed kick there from Niamh Carmody. Well worked. And again, Clare 9 points down at this stage, so they need to try and register a score before half time. Michaela's looking for options. The ref is after calling her to kick it, and she's after finding Tara Kelly again, her fullback. Yeah,
Tara Kelly a little bit out of position, but as we know, numbers mean very little, and another number that will mean a lot is that score, because there's another chance that it's going to increase here. Another free for a player playing the ball while on all fours, and it was Tara Kelly on this occasion, and Louise Ní Hurtig now first free on, I guess what you could call the far side for a right-footed, the wrong side for a right-footed free taker, but she inches forward, calls of how long, and calls of wide, because it's a third wide on the day for Kerry and a second from a free for the Cork Gwibna attacker. So no rush here from Michaela Glynn despite the 9-point deficit. Kerry stay pressed up, the referee telling her to get on with it. Short of options, goes out to that left wing again, but another foul there.
Yeah, if you just have a look at the Kerry forwards there, they have every zone covered inside the full forward line. They're giving.
It's not man marking, is it?
No,
they're
not.
covering
It's
the space.
zones, yeah,
And
yeah.
So if a Clare player wants to move left, there's going to be a Kerry player there, and if they want to move right, there's another Kerry player there. It's as simple as that. And when the kick out is a little bit of a punt like that one, it's not direct to a Clare player. There's always a chance a Kerry player is going to get under it.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like.
It's Danielle O'Leary.
Danielle O'Leary is down there with a leg injury. Looks like a calf muscle or left ankle. Hopefully she'll be okay. She has got on the scoreboard already today with a good point or two, so she'll be hoping to get back onto her feet.
Yeah,
again, it gives Clare just a chance to regroup. I can see if there's a few of them down the corner there, just going through positions and where they should be. Just give them a minute or two to regroup. Because they have been under an awful lot of pressure.
They have indeed. They're probably thinking they have another kick out coming in a minute. What can we do? Gone are the days where you just stand in your position and punt the ball and hope for the best. There's a bit of tactics to it now that you may have seen in basketball all through the years, putting up screens and blocking people.
Yeah.
But just looking at Danielle O'Leary on the deck, she is the one player who has come into this Kerry 15 from the victory over Tipperary. She came on to good effect, I believe, in the game in Fitzgerald Stadium in Killarney, and listening to Declan Quill speaking to Kerry FM during the week, he was singing her praises. It's her first year on the panel, and he was saying how highly they think of her in Kerry. So we've seen it in glimpses so far.
Yeah, a player for the future, I've no doubt.
Yeah, so, well, will her future in this game be beyond this incident? She does seem in a bit of trouble.
Clare will be looking forward to seeing hearing the half-time whistle now, and I think, as we have mentioned, that the wind is quite strong, so they'll get their chance in the second half, to register some scores on the board. They just need to have patience and not panic. It's how you react to these situations, that will tell a lot. So hopefully they can register a few scores and make it more competitive in the second half.
Yeah, good to see her back on her feet, and the referee says we're going to have this free. So is the familiar routine of Louise Ní Hurtig. Takes her time on it. Sent the last one just to the wide and right, to the... Oh, sorry, pillars in my way, but it is indeed a point, a 7th point now for Kerry. A goal and 10, or a goal and 7, making 10 I should say, so 10 points to margin. And it's just, we keep reiterating the wind. It's not to underestimate good play from Kerry, but it is a very, very strong wind, as that ball will attest to there as it blows backwards, and the ball is knocked out over the line, and it's going to be a Kerry line ball. knocked backwards by Clare player. Emer Hurtig, lovely ball into the hands, and that's what a good accurate pass can do. Anna Galvin sends it into the Doonbeg sky, but it is to the left and wide. A fourth
Very
imprecision,
powerful
shall we say, in front of goal.
Yeah, very powerful there from Anna Galvin. Came onto that ball, great ball across from
Great bit of fielding, wasn't it? Above her head, and that allowed her just to burst through the tackle and take on the shot. But the shot just not her best. But another chance now for her midfield partner, Mary O'Connell. Sent aside to Nimir Hurtig. She'll be thinking of another point, and her first point from play. That's a lovely effort, lovely shape on that. There is the half-time whistle, so a goal and 8. I wouldn't rule Clare out of this contest. Kerry very much in the driving seat, but even down to 14, they got on top in the last 7 or 8 minutes anyway. Still hope, it must be said, for Clare, but I think they're going to need to sharpen up on a couple of things. Keeping possession and not getting turned over around the middle third is probably the main point that they need to pick on. Yeah,
they're going to regroup here now at half time. Clare have the quality forwards to get some scores on the board. Again, like Kerry, they just need to be patient, work the ball with that wind. Try and get the ball to hand the whole time. Try to reduce the amount of turnovers that they got in the first half, and just work hard and just get some scores. Even the first score is going to be crucial now after half time just to settle them. But I've no doubt that they're going to come back and make this game a little bit more competitive in the second half.
Okay, well, it's about time we warmed up with a cup of tea, and I'd encourage you to do similar, but don't go too far away from your laptop, your TV, or indeed your phone. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the second half of this Lidl Ladies National Football League contest between Clare and Kerry. It is the visitors who are leading on a scoreline of Clare no score, Kerry a goal and 8. You're very welcome back to Doonbeg for this Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 2 Round 2 contest between Clare and Kerry. Kerry just making their way back out from the dressing room. They're in the ascendancy and indeed into the 11-point lead of 1 goal and 8 points to no score. Clare really struggling to get anything going in attack in what was a very difficult half against a strong breeze here. But still, time for them, and indeed here come Clare, time for them to fix that here in this second half. Kerry will start the second half with 14 players following the yellow card shown to Emma Costello. And a reminder that Louise Murray-Hurtig got the opening score of the game with that goal, turning over Clare kick out and lobbing the ball expertly over Michaela Glynn. So all to play for here, but Kerry very much with their hand and indeed foot into that semi-final following a victory in round 1 over Tipperary. So they'll be looking to see this one out and stifle what resistance may come from Clare. So we're almost ready to get it back underway. We do need one thing that is very important for football, and that is indeed the football itself. Referee looking for one here. But just bring it back in here. Anne-Marie Canlon, of course, joining myself, Tom Clancy, here for this second half. Anne-Marie, it's not impossible that Clare can win this game, but they need probably a quick start here, get a couple of scores on the board and build a bit of confidence. Yeah, definitely. I think the first score here is going to be crucial. Clare will want to push on. Clare will just have to do similar to what Kerry did in the first and put pressure on the full back line and the half back line coming out. I've no doubt that the Kerry keeper, Ciara Butler, will be in a lot of the play again. For this half, similar to Michaela Glynn in the first half, but the first score is crucial here. Yeah, and it's Kerry continuing where they left off, and it's Anna Galvin driving at the Clare defence. Bit of a scrum there, and that offence we saw so many times in the first half. A player who was off her feet playing the ball on the deck. You'd think I was talking about rugby, but indeed I'm talking about football here, and Clare can build an attack from here. The wind remains strong here in Doonbeg. As 3 or 4 Kerry players block up the attack, but again the pass is poor from a Clare point of view, and Kerry can come away with it now as Ciara Murphy goes down that left wing, cuts inside. No changes are obvious to us at the interval. We will bring any substitutes names to you when we have them. Of course, unlimited substitutions allowed in the Ladies League this season once again. So Katrina Callan has entered the fray, as has Aoife Keane, so we just have to wait and see who has made way for those two girls. Katrina Callan Keane is a dual player. She's playing camogie and football. It's great to see her back after injury. Katrina carries a lot of experience with her, so it's great to see her in on her full forward line position as usual again. Yeah, Katrina wearing 13 and number 20, of course, is Aoife Keane. So Katrina originally listed to start, but changes made by Evan Talty and his background team of David Lenihan, and so what those changes can reap for them, we shall soon see. There's an injury here just outside the 45. Clare will look to get a bit of momentum. It's Ellie O'Gorman that is on the deck. It's her left ankle, it would appear, or left quad that's giving her trouble. It's going to be a free to Kerry as Grania Nolan has the ball in her possession. Nolan does a full 180 and goes back, spilled but grasped at the second attempt by Ciara McCarthy, while despite wearing 17. A reminder, she started this contest, and Tara Kelly burst onto a hand pass. Again, we spoke about the level of hand passing and quality passing. The ball kicked. That's the first shot of the game for Clare, and it's from Ciara McCarthy, and you can hear the roars around us here from the Clare supporters. That's what they needed, an opening score of the game for them, and it's taken a very, very long time, longer than they were taught, but a very well executed score from McCarthy. Score there from Ciara McCarthy off her trademark right foot. Lovely curl on the ball. Clare putting pressure now on the Kerry kick out, giving no options to Ciara Butler. She's forced to kick the ball out wide, and there's pressure here on from Michelle Marnan. So that was inside the 21, so good pressure there from Clare, similar to what Kerry did in the first half. Yeah, the ball did go outside the 20, but with the wind and with the spin on it, it went back inside. So that is a free in for Fidelma Marnan and her Clare team. And standing in her way is Niamh Carmody. She's arguing the point. Lauren Griffin is one of the Clare players who has made way. So, and it looks like midfielder Joanna Doonan is the other. Thanks a million, Anne-Marie, for spotting those. No bother. But that free goes very high, and it's going to go wide, is it not? No, it's kept in play. Chance here. Oh, it's a great block there. It was certainly a chance for Katrina Collins to make her mark off the bench, but well blocked down by one of the Kerry defenders, and that really could have ignited this contest had that found its way to the back of the net. But Kerry, too many steps there, and the arms outstretched, and it's Anna Clifford, another half-time substitute. It looks like this on the time of the Kerry side of things. Another great block there by midfielder Anna Galvin, I think it was, in that occasion, and Kerry recycle come away with goalkeeper Ciara Butler. We've had to say her name on very few occasions in this contest, but good interchange of passes, and Kerry were going to have to run it into the wind in this half. Kicking it is probably not an option, as we saw in the first half. Good pressure there from Fidelma Marnin, but the referee says that there was a foul committed in there, and the ball is moved quickly on to Louise Numera-Hurtig. A very impressive forward, all-star to her name in recent seasons, and ball knocked inside here. Good quick attack from Kerry. Can they do what Clare didn't do in the first half, and that score down to our right hand side? They will have an opportunity here through a free.
Yeah, that was a free one there by Rachel Dwyer. She was deemed to be pulled back. Again, good work from Kerry, working the ball to hand the whole time on the way up.
Good pace to the attack too.
Yeah, really good pace, yeah. Clare will want to do a quick kick out now. Maybe Michaela might go long from the for this one, but Louise is about to take this just the right hand side of the post, maybe 5 yards out. Yeah,
so again the angle, she started today kicking from the left of the goals, and now she's all the way across to the right. So can she judge us in this breeze? She doesn't, because it swings all the way across. Gathered inside there expertly by Ellie O'Gorman. Looks to have come away from that injury a couple of moments ago, and is going to continue on, but ball finds its way out to Aoife Keane, and good stuff there by Tara Kelly, and ball in the grateful hands of Laurie Ryan. Clare just looking to get the precise challenges there. The referee gives a free there. There's protests on the line, and the referee wants them to go back and take it. That's just going to slow up the attack. The Kerry management not too happy with it, but what it does do is give them a chance to reset, and they have maybe 12-13 players behind the ball. Here's Fidelma Marnin, 2-6, as we keep mentioning in the looks like her jersey was pulled, or indeed her ponytail in fact might have been even pulled, but she gets on with it. Great dispossession there though by the Kerry forward, making all the way back. Niamh Carmody. Carmody solos once, solos twice, hand passes it off here. Kerry would be wise to move it quickly. They do indeed. Here's Carmody, 43 metres out, making her way, open grass in front of her. Lovely weighted pass into Mary Hurtig off the left, and that's over the bar. And a sweeping move there, real pace to it. That's why they got the score. And I suppose accuracy of pass too was
yeah,
great.
That came from the just near the half forward line there. Niamh Carmody intercepted Fidelma Marnin, near hand tackle again the whole time. She worked the ball up to Louise, great ball in, and popped it over the bar.
Yeah, and whereas we were back to an 11-point game, and we said it would, the first number of scores in the second half would be crucial, and they've won a piece. So Kerry fighting off the early Clare resistance, and they're looking very comfortable in this contest. It must be said, chance here now, but there's a couple of Clare players out there sent in, and it's going to hold up in the wind. And Michaela Glynn, now for the first time in this game, comes out, but her kick is actually far too strong for the Clare substitute, Aoife Keane, and Kerry can build another attack here. Here is the number 10, Niamh Carmody, and that's sent in, and that just has enough to go over the crossbar. Great couple of minutes from Niamh Carmody. She was instrumental in the point a moment ago, and she lands a point of her own there.
Yeah, excellent score from the outside of her right boot there. Really well worked. Again, Clare just have to be patient now, work the ball up and try and get a few more scores. Gráinne Harvey's on the ball. She's after finding Aoife Keane, who's after finding Ellie O'Gorman, and now we have Laurie Ryan on the ball. Laurie needs to go forward a little bit more, I think.
Yeah,
she's excellent going forward. She's still going forward. She's looking for help.
She's going to try and go all the way, but she elects then to pass it off. But again, Kerry, I was going to say Kerry are patient in the attack there, in the tackle they're not, and it's the substitute there, Anna Clifford, who is the guilty party there. So she slaps down on her opponent, and gives Clare what we would assume a routine opportunity to slot one over the crossbar. Yeah,
Anna had an excellent year for Kerry last year. Again, a very versatile player. She just caught Gráinne Lohan in there. Gráinne is going to take this free. An excellent banner player. She takes the frees time and time again, well within her range.
Yeah, so goes through her little routine and off the right foot. She doubles their tally. And nicely taken free from Grania Nolan, and Clare are going to need plenty of that in this contest. As
the umpires just seem to be calling in referee here to have a little chat with him.
Yeah, the point is confirmed, but maybe there's a little bit of there's a little bit of coaching going on behind the goal there, or not in fact coaching, just spectators who are on the pitch area. But however, we're going to continue. As I said in the first half, there's only room for 2 umpires, so the 2 gentlemen either side of the post there don't want any more alongside them. So we're getting back on with the football action here. And scrum develops there. Anna Clifford, yeah. Foul was the guilty party a minute ago, but is the fouled party on this occasion. Now, a reminder, both these sides still have a game to play in this group. A group of 4 and 2 go through. So they both have a contest to go. Kerry will play Laois next week in Killarney, and Clare will face a trip to Tipperary. So much needed points on offer here this afternoon, and it's Kerry who look to double their tally for the league campaign. Step through a couple of challenges here now is Ciara McCarthy. McCarthy is pulled back, and a bit of pep in their step at times, Clare, but they're going to need scores, and they're going to need them fast. As Clifford checks the run of the player who passed that ball, sends in long, and it's going to be too long indeed. And that's, would you believe, Clare's first wide of this contest. I think the game is about 40 minutes old.
Yeah, it was the right call there from Grania Nolan. She saw Chloe inside. She overkicked a little bit slightly there. I think they need to get more ball into Chloe. She's really good to win the ball in that square area there, if they're going to get a few more scores on the board.
Yeah, and Ciara Butler from Castle Gregory gets the kick out underway, and the referee gives a free in. There's a little bit of a shake of the head from the Kerry players. Here's Fidelma Marinan. Now that's a fantastic block by Julie O'Sullivan. Now it was put up to her. It was pretty obvious what Fidelma was doing, but she still put her body on the line for her county, and a chance now for Kerry to counter-attack. Then it's Quiva Evans. Quiva is fouled 46 metres from the end line, and probably about 50 metres given the angle. There's not a hope in hell that Louise Nimmer-Hurtig will have a shot from here. No, although I could be eating my words here. She's going to work a shot. She's going to go backwards, yeah. Such is the wind here in Doonbeg. So these sides have played here in recent league campaigns. Of course, Kerry beaten in last year's league final by Meath, and Meath up Division 1, up into the senior ranks. And, well, we all know what happened to them last year in the All-Ireland final. A remarkable victory over Dublin. They've gone from strength to strength. So hope for other counties such as Clare, such as Kerry, that if they can get things right in Division 2 and at the intermediate grade, that they can rise the ranks pretty quickly, as Vicky Wall and co showed for Meath. So just a break in play here. Yeah, Aisling really seemed to have got hurt there, but she seems okay again now. Kerry again very patient and on their build up, just checking to see what the referee's going to do. Maybe he's going to throw the ball in and say, oh no, he's going to give possession to Kerry, and Louise is an indirect free, I believe. Yeah, so just it tells the Clare players to go back. There's a bit of confusion here, but Louise gets on with it, and chance now for Quiva Evans, and back to Nimmer Hurtig, and skips back inside to Anna Galvin. Galvin, she doesn't even think about shooting. She sends it across to the other side here, and a chance now. Oh, it's worked inside. Will they shoot for a goal? They will, and it's swept over the bar there. And nice point. It looks like that was full forward Rachel Dwyer. Yeah. What a diagonal ball across there, though. Absolutely excellent play. Didn't shoot because knew it was out of her range. Diagonal ball across, great score. Aoife Keane uses her experience here, and she's after being fouled there by Aisling O'Connell. Aoife's after finding Laurie Ryan in the middle of the field. I have no doubt she'll go bursting forward now with possession. The trademark run, as I keep calling them anyway. It's anyone who's seen Clare before will know what she's capable of, but unfortunately on that occasion the wind gets the better of her long diagonal ball inside. Yeah, she was just trying to find Katrina Callan there in space. Just overheat again. The wind, it's hard to judge it, but Clare need to keep creating those chances and keep pushing forward, keeping the pressure on that Kerry defence. Yeah, there will be a possibility, worst come to worst, that scoring difference may come into it for either the top two or indeed the bottom one in the relegation places. So depending on draws and whatever way the results work out. So every score could indeed be crucial, and not to say that this game is over there. And there's a push there. Well, actually, there's not a push. There's a free awarded in, and the ball hits the referee, and he's allowing play to continue. Clare very eager to get on with it. They need scores. They need a fast ball sent in by Ciara McCarthy, but well, they had no wides in the first half. They've had 3 in very quick succession here, and those wides just take the bit of sting out of the contest, and they just allow Kerry to breathe and rest easy with their advantage of 12 points now.
Yeah, again, Clare pressing now on the kick out, forcing Ciara to go long again. That's well won.
Oh, well, they were trying to work it. Yeah, but a Kerry player comes up with it. There's a Clare player on the deck. That is Katrina Canlon. So hopefully Katrina will be okay. Physio's busy this afternoon. They're in again. In quickly. Just while she's down there, just to pick up that point there that Meath winning Division 2 last year, winning the intermediate in 2020, it does surely give hope. Now, albeit that people would have said they were building, but it does give hope to the other counties that, if you get the right things in place, you get the right panels together, you get the right coaches involved, strength and conditioning, all those things, all those boxes you need to tick, that you can rise the ranks. You mightn't always win the All-Ireland, of course, but you can get up the levels and compete with the Corks and the Dublins and the Galways and the Mayos of this world.
Absolutely. They had an inspirational year last year, and they have started this year as they mean to go on. They've had 2 victories in the league so far, so they're showing that it wasn't just a once-off last year. The composure and the attitude and the determination of that Meath team last year, they were deserving winners, and it will, as you said, it will give confidence to other teams to know that they can do it as well with the right structures in place and the right attitude and the right game plans, and the game has evolved so much and changed so much that the teams have to keep up with that, and Meath are an excellent, and they have real leaders on the field, and that's what you need. That's a great score there.
Yeah, Fenelba Marinin with her opening score, her first score of this contest, lovely free off the left foot, and she cuts the gap ever so slightly, but they're certainly going to need to raise a green flag, you will feel, if they're to stand any hopes of avoiding a second consecutive defeat. Yeah, but interesting that, as we say, that it was actually Chloe Maloney, who knocked over that free. Apologies to Chloe, but nevertheless a well taken free. And just mixing up the players with the red boots. So Clare getting on with it. They've kicked 3 points now early in the second half. She's going to go back, and they're going to send her over to take it again. Indeed, they are.
It's just a little bit further out from the last free she took, but Chloe's well able with that left foot to pop the ball over the bar. Although I think it's a little bit far out, she may go short, but although there is a strong wind, so we'll just wait and see what she's going to do.
Yeah.
She has runners inside. Katrina Calla made a good run out there, but I think the referee just told her to hold it there for a second, so she's lining up for this one. Looks like she's going to go for the posts.
She is indeed. She sends it high. She puts a bit of curl on it.
Great score.
And
excellent score.
Just like that, she lands 2 very well taken frees, and keeps Clare with some bit of interest in this contest. There's roars of come on out there from the Clare forwards. They want to.
I think they're actually arguing that the keeper went for the ball that's furthest away, that she didn't go for the near ball. So a little bit of frustration there from the Clare defence, but Orla Devitt has it won back, and she's after finding Katrina Callan. If she can see inside, Chloe's inside. No, just unlucky, it was half blocked actually. Yeah. So good defence from Kerry.
Good defence from Kerry, but goalkeepers being cynical and wasting time when they're in the lead against the wind. I don't think that could possibly happen, but we're certainly not accusing Ciara Butler of that just yet, but she'll be doing everything to slow it down, you'd imagine, if Clare start chipping off the scores and getting back into this contest.
Laurie Ryan seems to have got a hefty tackle there. She's down and seems to be in a little bit of distress, so hopefully she's okay. Again, Clare need her, from her runs from half back. She's a real leader on the field. Yeah, nominated for the Division 2 team of the season last year, or the player of the league, I should say. Just shows you how important she is to this Clare team. A real leader for young and old. You can hear the communication, certainly from our vantage point. Someone accusing their team of being all over the shop, so they're going to need to pick it up down the stretch here. Kerry will be very happy with the position, 10 points up. They were 11 up at the half time, so the lead has not really been disintegrated. There's another sub just over on our right there, a player coming in for Clare. I'm not sure who has made way, but
It's the number 29.
It seems to be Ciara McCarthy is making way. Ciara's covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah, so Ciara McCarthy's been replaced by Sinead Considine of Liscannor. So, yeah, so Ciara's race has run for this contest, it would seem. And we're back underway. As Clare turned over, can they work? Well, I was going to say, can they open it up and get a goal here? They're going to get a free in 14 metres or so out. The foul is committed. Fidelma Marninan passed it off, and straight away the referee blew the whistle, so there was a foul.
Yeah, it looks like a foul on Chloe Maloney there.
Chloe Maloney, yeah. So Grania Nolan having a little look to try and take it quickly and maybe go for a green flag, but Chloe's back to her feet, and that ball is tapped over the bar from that free by Grania Nolan. She was just eager to get on with it and just keep the scoreboard ticking before the clock ticks down. So Grania Nolan, her first free of the contest.
Yeah, so he's just called for the water break there.
Yeah, there's
better now from Clare in this half. I do think that Clare need a goal though to get right back into contention. Kerry started well. They're just, you know, they're being patient and they're built up to the scores. But at least Clare have 5 points on the board, you know, in this 15. So they just need to keep driving on and keep tagging on the points, and hopefully a goal will come as well.
Yeah, so as we said in the first half, water breaks to persist for the league campaign for the LGFA, but it looks like they'll be discontinued after that. Coaches around the country will be disappointed with that news, but I'm sure spectators and indeed commentators will be glad that we'll probably have a little bit more free-flowing game, but they certainly had their place, indeed, especially on the particularly hot days. When today isn't one of those, but they've certainly had their place in the LGFA remit in the last couple of years. So,
just reflecting on this game so far, there's been quite a lot of hits and knocks on both sides. The physios have been busy. Kerry are very, very physical, as are Clare. So hopefully that the girls who receive knocks are all okay. It just shows how, you know, the game is evolving, and that the tackles are going in hard. There's a lot of 50-50 tackles as well. So both teams, I'm sure, will be looking forward to the break after this game, but they'll have to regroup again for the following round. So Clare face Tipperary, and Kerry will be facing Laois, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so a very, I suppose, relatively even group, albeit that Kerry look to be going 2 for 2.
It just looks like Clare's Emma McMahon from the Cool Gaels Club is being brought on. We just have to wait and see who's been replaced. I just mentioned the Cool Gaels Club there. A stalwart, Emer O'Connor for Clare. She got married yesterday. She has given years of service to Clare, so we wish her congratulations on her big day. But just staying with the play now, Ciara Butler's looking for someone to make a run for this kick out. She's going to go long.
She'd no real way of slowing the contest down. The ball was ready and waiting for her, and it's all the way out to centre half back. Emma Costello is a long way from her natural position, but she finds a free. And Kerry in no real rush to get on with this, but they do in fact do that. Another 50-50 contest there. Referee allows play to continue, but he's actually stopped at another injury here. But you pick up that point on the physicality. It has gone up in ladies football. We see it in Camogie. There was rule changes as well, but it has gone up in ladies football too, that players are now doing gym work. It's not a case of just turn up and train and play. There's more to it than that. There's obviously stretching. There's all that sort of stuff has really come along very quickly, I guess, across the county, or country, I should say.
Like girls are making sacrifices 6-7 nights a week between training and gym. You know, they're working really hard, working similar to the men, you know. So like it's just showed how the game has changed. It looks like Amy Sexton has made way for Emma McMahon. This is Emma's debut, so it's great to see her coming on to the Clare panel. An excellent player for Cool Gaels down to the years, usually the full forward position. Looks like she's gone into a sweeping role here. Again, just going to try and stop the supply of Kerry ball going in. Kerry are in possession at the moment, and
they're going backwards here.
Backwards, yeah.
Shouts of steps there from the Clare management, arms stretched, but the referee ignoring those pleas. You mentioned Emma McMahon. She did in fact play against Laois, very short stint off the bench late in that contest, but gets her home debut, shall we call it here. So I'm sure a proud day for her and her family to put on the Clare senior jersey in her home county, and the ball sent in direct to one of the Kerry substitutions and back to Louise Nimmer-Hurtig. Switches it inside. Apologies that we're not able to bring it to subs as they happen. No PA dress for that scenario. Ball well held on to there by Nimara Hurtig inside in the corner, and Kerry recycled, and it's Niamh Carmody outside of the boot, sends it backwards accidentally or otherwise, but she will find a teammate of hers, and luckily enough it finds its way back to Niamh Carmody. Carmody has been impressive when she's had her moments in the second half. Ball sent in, and it's swirling and dipping and shaking in the wind, but eventually finds its way to the goalkeeper Michaela Glynn, and Clare come out with it, and it's I think it was Erica McGlynn with the shot there on that occasion. Another substitution that has come in.
She's come into the full forward position.
Yeah, so
Sinead Constantine's on the ball here now for Clare, another Liscanner woman. Came on a couple of times last year, a young player. She's after finding Aoife Keane, who's after finding her Grania Harvey.
Yeah, and Clare, the pass is sticking a little bit better, but it scores they need, and it scores they need fast. 1-11 I should say, to 5 points. You certainly feel a green flag or two is going to be needed. 8 minutes or so of regulation time, I believe, left here. Depends what the referee allows for injuries, water breaks. We have had a few of those, but again, it's well turned over by Emma Costello, and
superb tackle there from Emma Costello on Katrina Callan. Excellent ball in from Emma McMahon to Katrina Callan. Clare need to do more of that. They need to get the passing right. Looks like Emma has fouled here, and the referee's having a word with her. Maybe even a yellow card, but hopefully not for Clare's sake.
Yeah,
she just kind of crossed her across the chest, and yes, in fact, it is actually a yellow card.
We were saying a proud day, and I'm sure it still is, but it's a disappointing day. That may be the end of the contest for Emma McMahon. Gets the yellow. Referee deemed that to be overly excessive in the tackle. She does play with a heavily bandaged right leg, but she may not play any further part in this contest. 10 minutes in the bin, so that's a sin bin apiece in this contest. A reminder, Emma Costello went to the bin early in the first half, but it really didn't impact the game from a Kerry point of view, and they just fear now for Clare that any hopes they have of a remarkable comeback have now extinguished with that. But Kerry will be professional, I'm sure, in their approach to see this out. They're going to want to just get another point or two, and just keep Clare on the back foot in this in the final 10 minutes or so. So out onto that left hand side, Kerry building, and the familiar sight of Louise Nimara Hurtig. She checks back, and this finds its way to Mary O'Connell. It's Mary Hurtig, and the referee halts it here. I don't think he's given a free.
This is what Kerry have done time and time today. Again, they're recycling the whole time, working the ball across, and Louise seemed to have got a heavy tackle there. Again, I think it was 50-50. It wasn't anything sinister. She should be up onto her feet in a few minutes, but Kerry are patient on the ball the whole time. They're working the ball in, and they're finding, a Kerry jersey the whole time. Yeah.
Well, that becomes, I suppose, allowable, or it's something that you want to do when you're winning games, and perhaps they did the same against Tipperary. So this is a scenario that they're getting used to, holding on to leads and being patient. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach things when they're behind in a game. As I mentioned, they did lose the league final last year, did Kerry, to Meath. No great shame in that, but they had actually beaten Meath in the very first round of the league, and they played Clare in round 2. So they'll be hoping to go one better in the league this season. And the ball, a lovely block there by I think it was Tara Kelly, but a Kerry player comes up with it. Ball back outside to Quiva Evans, recycled back. This is Clifford, and that ball sent in. Is it going to go over the crossbar? Wow, that was very, very close. It probably went wide and then tailed back in behind the goals, but it's a 5th wide in all for Kerry, and a first in this second half, as Clare, with the clock running away from them, this game running away from them too, look to put a bit of pride on the score sheet. They managed 5 points in this second half, 5 points to 3. So can they win the second half by a more considerable margin? We shall see. But dispossess one way, then dispossess the other.
Again, Emma Costello in with that tackle straight away. She's been outstanding today. But Ashley Reedy has the ball. She's after finding Katrina Callanan. Katrina's after offloading to Grania Nolan, who finds Aoife Keane, her clubmate.
And Keane off the right foot. That looks to be good, and it is good from Aoife Keane. Yeah, well worked score. Looked like the chance had gone earlier in the play, but they turned it over as quickly as they lost it. And Aoife Keane gets their latest effort, and she'll be happy with that one. Just shows you there are forwards there. It isn't all on Fidelma Marnin's shoulders like it was up in Laois that other players can chip into, but they're going to need plenty more of that, as this is Clifford from the Fawcett Club, switches it out to the left wing, and Ciara Murphy. Can Kerry respond in kind with a score of their own? And it's sent in. They can indeed. It's sent over the bar. It's number 18, I think, on that occasion, Curl and Hanrahan.
I think I mentioned earlier that Amy Sexton had made way. Apologies, it was actually Fidelma Marnin. Amy is still on the field, so Fidelma has made way.
Yeah, not her day in front of the goal. Difficult afternoon for a lot of the Clare forwards, it must be said, but they're chipping away, and a nicely taken score there to re-extend that lead. So back to 9 points. Just 3 kicks of a ball if you were being very optimistic about it, but not if you're making passes like that, as Kerry look to seal the deal. Sent into the corner, runners off the shoulder, and one of those is Niamh Carmody. Carmody met with a challenge, goes all the way to the corner. What can she do from here? Well blocked down, but it finds its way to Kerry defender, or a Clare defender, I should say, and they can clear their lines. That is Aoife Keane.
Yeah, it was well blocked down there by Terry. Kelly Terry has done quite a few block downs today. She's been very solid there. A lot of pressure on the the Clare backs. Elia Gorman found that Aoife Keane. Aoife's after giving a left footed pass to Laurie Ryan.
Yeah,
Laurie's going to be looking for support, and she finds Gráinne Nolan.
She's going to look for the 1-2, I'd say, and she gets it. So she does indeed. Plenty of pace in those legs from Laurie Ryan, but they have to go back here as Katrina Canlan switches it all the way across. Just not able to gather it.
Amy Sexton.
Is Amy Sexton, yeah. And Amy Sexton out of one challenge, out of the other. Out goes the arm from the referee. Play goes on. No advantage is coming. And there's going to be another opportunity here. And Clare will be wise to get that ball back very quickly and try and have a go at the post, or indeed work a short one here. As Chloe Maloney lines up a free.
You'd wonder will Chloe go short here
with
now?
a Kerry sub here.
Oh, yeah.
So Kerry making use of the allowable unlimited substitutions, as number 19 Maeve Johnston enters the fray. They use 6 subs against Tipperary. I think they're going to match that tally, if not go one better, as off the left foot.
I think it's Quiva Evans, centre forward, is making way for Kerry. Quiva was very solid there at centre forward throughout this game, and that was a good score there from Chloe from a free.
Yeah, just
again, I do think Clare need a goal now, just for the last couple of minutes, just to put more, life into the game, and just to get a little bit of confidence going into the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and indeed a little bit of confidence going in, as number 5 for Clare, Schaefer Niconnell, makes way. But a little bit of confidence going into that contest with Tipperary. That'll be paramount as well.
It looks like, looking at the Clare bench there, it looks like Ailish Kenny from Cool Gales and Rebecca Doohan from Kilmurray Bricken are warming up and are going to enter the fray.
Yeah, good for them to get a bit of action in this Division 2. Good standard league, of course, and ball well taken down there. The second attempt, I put the curse in her because she's given it straight away, and back in the grateful hands of Louise Niemeyer-Hurtig. Sees the saffron and blue in her way and has to go back. The P word, the patience in the Kerry attack. Ball with Johnston. Johnston is fouled. That's Maeve Johnston from the Lawn Rangers Club.
Louise Griffin from Fergus Rovers has entered for Clare as well. We just have to wait to see who has made way. I think Louise has gone into a corner back position.
Yeah, so as I said, we'll do our best to keep you up to date with all of those substitutions. As Niemeyer-Hurtig stands over her latest free. Referee just actually waiting for those subs. There's the 2 Clare subs just coming in there.
Rebecca Doohan and Ailish Kenny.
Yeah, Rebecca Doohan and Ailish Kenny, in they come. Not an awful lot of time for them to make an impact, but I'm sure they've been training hard enough to warrant an appearance in the National League. And
Gráinne, it looks like Gráinne Harvey's making way, and as is Amy Sexton.
So Harvey and Sexton replaced, and a chance now for the Kerry sharpshooter Louise Niemeyer-Hurtig. And it was someone from Clare not too happy with how long she was taking, and she's not going to be too happy herself with that effort on goal. A 6 wide now, and I believe a third wide from a free for her, but still, you must remember her goal early in the piece. A real highlight of this contest. She lobbed the goalkeeper with another sub. Actually, in fact, the sin bin is now up on the Clare side, so thankfully, in her case, Emma McMahon of Cool Gales gets back in and gets a little bit more. She wasn't on the pitch too long when she got that yellow card, so she'll be hoping to get a couple of possessions in the limited time we have remaining. Ball comes back here, and it's going to be switched across to Aoife Keane. Clare just a little bit short of ideas at times. Rebecca Doohan switches it out, and Kerry just not letting them have it easy. They've surely secured the victory, you'd imagine, at this point, 8 points up, but they don't want anything to undo their work. They conceded 1-4 against Tipperary. They've conceded 7 points here today, so they'll be looking to keep that margin of 7 points a game intact.
Clare just looking for runners inside. Gráinne Nolan's made an excellent run, but I think that Ellie's been called back because it's another substitution coming on for Clare. Yeah,
Evan Talty making use, again, as I say, of the substitution allowance. Another one on the Clare side, so ball fired in, the wind takes it and takes it all the way wide. So a fourth wide for Clare. You could see what they were trying to do there, but the bounce and indeed the wind made it sure that it evaded everybody. And Ciara Butler can resume the contest here. A very towering figure, I'm sure, is Butler if you were bearing down a goal. So great take there from the kick out, and Kerry just into their flow once again, sweeping up the middle. Look at that interchange of passes. That is why Kerry are going to win this game, you'd feel. And it's chance now for Nimira Hurtig. Can she add her second green flag? Well, she spills it, so it's going to be a little bit tricky from there. But, well, I used the word tricky. She makes it look very, very easy. Very well taken point there.
Yeah, inside of the right foot on the run on the right hand side. Superb score there from Louise. Again, though, as you said, the ball to hand there, really, really good from Kerry, piercing down the Clare defence. Joanna Doohan is on the ball here, and she's gone back to Michaela Glenn. Yeah,
Michaela gets on with it, but just going back to that point from Nimira Hurtig, she spilled it. It looked to my eye that the chance may have gone. She might have to come back, but a player of her ilk and her quality, she didn't even need to think about it. Back into the hand and straight over the bar. So Clare get on with it as Emma McMahon sends Laurie Ryan in. Is it going to race all the way to the end line? She keeps it in. 3 Kerry players around her. 1 puts in a challenge. They have to go back here. And Clare recycle. Try and work a bit of magic here now. A pass again is not to hand, so it just stifles the attack momentarily. And the referee does give a free in for a pullback here.
And just while there's a break and play there, it was Sarah Redmond that was introduced from the Rogue Club there. She's gone in corner forward. Again, Sarah's new onto the panel this year. Excellent club player, and great to see her getting her chance to play for her county.
Yeah, and another sub on the Kerry side there. So just coming into this wing back position here in front of us. I
think Sarah replaced Gráinne Nolan.
Yeah, it looks to be Leisha Coughlin in for Matt Moore on the Kerry side of things, who makes her way in, and that ball is sent over the bar from Chloe Maloney.
Excellent score there again from Chloe.
Yeah, if there's a positive from this game, it's been her free taking, because free taking is an important facet of the game, and she's stepped up in the second half, you must say, and she's been pretty formidable on the place balls. A couple of the Clare spectators around here think it's cynical. I don't know about you, but my laces have opened before when playing a game.
Yeah.
I don't want to be always wearing gloves, so I can tell you myself, but the referee insists he's going to stop his watch.
Yeah. Again, just giving Ciara a few minutes to regroup. She's going to find that she's a player out here in the wing. If she sees her, she doesn't. She goes long down the opposite side.
Yeah. You just call it a 50-50, but Clare come up with it. Can they work a green flag from here? Look at how quickly the Kerry players come back. Ball bounces away from the Clare attack, and well, someone beside me mentioned it. It's turning into a bit of rugby there at that particular time, but Tara Kelly is brought to the deck.
Yeah, and Galvin looked like she picked up a head injury there as well from that tackle. Very brave for Ellie O'Gorman there at the wing back. Well, she's not playing wing back now, but she went in there and made an excellent tackle. She pushed the ball away, and Clare were in possession. They were fouled. Correct decision. And It looks like Chloe's going to be taking this one again directly in front of the post, maybe 35 yards out.
Yeah, so
there's a little bit of aggro going on here again behind the goal.
Something going on behind the goals there.
At the village side, yeah.
I don't know, is it in good spirits or not, but doesn't seem to be. The linesman has spoken to the referee about something as well. Sometimes you'd wonder what goes through people's head while they're playing. Just get on with the game, play the ball as it is. But the injury still here to Anna Galvin.
I'm wondering, is it to do with the no, I'm not actually sure what went on there now behind the goals.
Yeah, Anna Galvin, I think the one of the Kerry backroom team has more or less come in and said, just come off the pitch. There's no need to risk it any further. We're 6 or 7 minutes over the allotted hours play. So Anna Galvin is going to be replaced by number 26, and that is Clodagh O'Connor from the Aero Club in County Cork, who she's currently playing with. And it's a lovely taken free from Chloe Maloney, and that most certainly is a positive for Clare today. And they know they can rely on her to raise green flags from free. So another one there from...
Now, if Ciara Butler can spot her, Ciara McCarthy's out here to the wing on her own, and yes, she has found Ciara McCarthy. Or no, sorry, Leisha Coughlin, apologies, she's found Leisha Coughlin. And now it is Katie Brosnan on the ball. Yeah,
good stuff from Kerry to find their way out of trouble, rather than the 50-50 kick out that we saw a few moments ago. Oh, and a bit of a hospital pass there, but Kerry get on with it. But you can see the pattern that Kerry play to players, giving width, giving options all the time. Give it to the player who is open, and they're doing so again. Kerry, or Clare I should say, funnel back, but the ball by hook or by crook finds its way across to the sideline, and it's Anna Clifford who was fouled and is then adjudged to have maybe in fact fouled Joanna Doohan. I'd say Clifford could be in a little bit of trouble here.
It's Ashlyn Reedy that's actually down, yeah.
Oh, sorry, in fact, Ashley, yeah. Reedy is the injured party, so let's see what the referee decides here. The referee Kevin Corcoran from Mayo. Not too long, it's a straight red card. Well, it's a straight red card from Anna Clifford. Well, she was the one who was initially fouled, and well, I'd love to see that back, because it looked like she was accused of I suppose striking out.
I think it was a closed fist actually.
Yeah. So while she was pulled back, if her arm came up and caught the Clare player in the face, perhaps it left the referee with little choice in the matter.
I think the board managements are getting animated now on the sideline.
Yeah,
but hopefully things will finish on good spirits. Action looks to be in spot of other.
Yeah, that's I suppose the main concern you'd have is that she hasn't suffered any significant injury to her head or face area, but both managements would be wise now. The game is effectively over as a contest. They would be wise to just go their separate ways, and well.
Yeah, Ashlyn is making way, and it looks like Ashlyn Morrissey from the Cora Clare Club is being introduced for her. So again, this is Ashlyn's first. Ashlyn was on the panel last year, and it's good to get seen her getting some game time now. Yeah, so if the free originally to Kerry, then overturned, now ball thrown in. And would you believe that is all we have time for? It's a win and a victory in a comfortable enough manner, you must say, for Kerry. They've made it 2 from 2 now in this Lidl Ladies National Football League. 1 goal and 13-9. Anne-Marie, just to sum it up, I know it ends in a little bit of bad taste, especially from a Kerry point of view, that their substitute Anna Clifford, who I thought had a fine game when she came on, has been sent off straight red. She's probably going to miss their final group game. A little bit of bad taste there at times at the end, a couple of little bit of incidents like that. But overall, the game, Kerry, I think, worthy winners. They showed impressively, probably particularly in that second quarter, between maybe 20 minutes and 30 minutes in the first half. They really kicked on. They went from, I think, 1-1 to maybe about 1-8 at half-time, 5, 6, 7 points in quick succession. That was probably the winning of the game. Yeah, definitely. Very, very physical game, as we alluded to earlier. I know that Clare didn't get off to a great start in the first half. They did come back a little bit in the second half, but I think Kerry's experience and overall calmness, and, they were very... patient on the ball, and they worked the scores. Their tackling was excellent. Clare did use their zonal defence effectively in patches, but going into Tipperary now, I know Tipperary are going to be looking to get the win there as well. Clare will be trying to get their first win on the board. Both teams will be, I've no doubt, it'll be a really good game. Tip have very good forwards. Clare will have to watch that. Kerry go comfortably into the Laois game now. You'd imagine that they will get the victory in that, but disappointing for Clare. But look, there's some positives and negatives to take from it. They'll work hard over the next week or two, and as will Kerry. But overall, it was an enjoyable game, and we look forward to the rest of the group games coming in the next couple of weeks.
So just to sum up, it was 1 goal and 8 to no score at half time. Kerry dominant in that first half. The goal from Louise Nimmer-Hurty, the very first score of the contest. Well, a bit of a fight back, it must be said, from Clare, particularly in that final quarter, but I suppose the damage really done in the opening 30 minutes or so. And it's ended here in Doonbeg. I've been Tom Clancy. Beside me has been Anne-Marie O'Callaghan. Thank you very much for joining us. It ended a full-time scoreline here of Clare 9 points, Kerry a goal and 13.